This is episode 45, Keeping It Social, Part 3.
Hey everyone, welcome to SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Maria.
I'm Deb.
And here's our podcast.
It's for the realistic SLP.
Is it?
I think.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was our intention
Yes.
a year ago when we started this.
Right. Yes.
Did you see that it popped up on my memories with it was us and SLP Toolkit, Sarah
that
and Lisa?
did come up on my memories as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was such a fun and exciting day, and it feels like so long ago, but not. It's so weird.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like so much has happened, but like in a good way.
Exactly.
Yes.
For those of you who haven't heard it, that was episode 2, Chat and Sip with SLP Toolkit.
Yeah, we were into the rhyming thing. We still are, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Still into the rhyming thing.
Yeah.
So, yes, we're also into the wine thing.
Sure are.
Yes, of course.
Some things never change.
Well, that's because wine is classy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic thing to do, to drink it. So what are we drinking? We're drinking another wine from Naked Winery.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, we're totally feeling them.
We're getting naked.
Yes, but not really. Okay. Just really didn't want
Or
any.
are we? You don't know. There's no visuals to this. This is an audio podcast.
Okay, I'm not going to pretend to be nervous there. You know, I'm good with whatever you're saying. I'm going to just, accept it. Yeah, you sip on the wine while I'm
Okay.
going to talk about it. How about that? Yes. So we're drinking Naked Winery wine, and it's called Vixen Syrah. I should probably know how to pronounce that, but I gave it my best. So
Is it Syrah?
Is it?
I think.
Probably. But
Mhm.
what is Syrah? Do you know much about
It's a
Syrah?
red wine.
It is a red wine, yes. Well, this red wine has a very nice, deep, rich body, and it does have a strong cherry and blackberry taste, but I wouldn't say it's overly, because we have tried some wines where it was overwhelming, especially the darker fruits, but I felt like this was like such a great and non-overwhelming type of fruitiness. And we paired it with this nice Greek cheese, one of our favorite cheeses, Kefalogaviera, which is not too salty. And I feel like it paired so nicely, right? I feel
Yeah.
like this is like a relaxing wine.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a kind of wine you just want to like stay on your couch and like eat cheese and drink it.
Yes, I
Yeah.
loved that. This cheese is really good.
Yeah, you definitely liked it.
Yeah.
And Deb had Kalamata olives.
Right.
And turns out I have family in Kalamata.
Hey, fam.
Hey, fam. So if they're listening to this, yasa stikanete, just shouting them out in
Yep,
Greek.
say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, yasa stikanete, yasa stikanete, yasa stikanete, yasa stikanete, yasa stikanete. I got it.
Good. Well done.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to vote drink it.
I vote drink it.
Cheers. Oh, no,
that was
lousy cheers.
There we go. Much better.
Cheers that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Don't you feel like classy drinking this?
Oh, well, I generally feel classy most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a pretty
Okay.
classy person.
Are you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, in my head I am, and that's all that matters,
That's
right?
a good point. I feel
What
like-
other people think about me is none of my business.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm going to have to agree with that.
Yeah.
So actually, Naked Winery is offering our listeners a discount and a coupon code. The coupon code is
Mm-hmm.
is 2 separate words. Wine, W-I-N-E, not, wine, space, not.
Right.
And with that code, you get 15% off 3 or more wines plus
50 or 15?
15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
Is my speech slurred?
A little.
All
Maybe
right, I'm
you're
gonna
a little
drink some
drunk
water.
off the naked wine.
Again, not naked though. Just want to reiterate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna have some water then.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, good. We'll edit that out.
Or not. So 15% off 3 or more wines plus $10 shipping. I heard it now. 15.
Okay, very nice.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you. So yeah, guys, check out their wine. It's some pretty good wine.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you?
Well, just living the dream. And so I just finished being a college professor for my first semester.
Cheers.
Cheers. It was a great experience.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I hope to do it again. If
You
I
will.
do get asked back, I'm going to get myself some Christian Louboutins.
I think you have to say this. When I get asked back, I will get Louis Vuittons. And Louis Vuitton.
Christian Louboutins.
Excuse me. I don't know what's going on here? Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What are you gonna get?
I'm going to get a pair of nude ones, I think. Not
Oh.
not a giant heel because like I'm not trying to kill myself, but
Or your feet.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't really have I don't have those type of skills to walk in like very high heels.
Yes.
So, that's my plan. And
Like that plan.
my school is finished on June 14th, I believe. So I'm
Okay.
almost done.
Like the charter school, you mean?
Yeah, the charter school. And I also signed up for a pediatric dysphagia course in New
Wow.
Brunswick.
Wow.
And I'm taking that June 7th and June 8th. And I'm really going to start to continue my professional development in that area. That's my
Wow.
intention.
That's great.
Yeah.
What does who is that course by or where? Like what?
I can't recall the name of the
Okay,
instructor,
right.
but it's at the hospital
Oh,
in
okay.
New Brunswick.
Nice. Good for you.
Thank you.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on with you.
Well, we're talking today about social stories and all that
Right.
good stuff.
Mhm.
So first, before we get into that, we just wanted to socialize with each other.
Right,
So
true.
Just
We're keeping it social.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're taking our
There's a
own
lot of
advice.
levels to this.
There's a lot of levels to this. All about social stuff.
Yeah.
I am very, very excited and slightly nervous. No, I'm not going to even say that word. I'm very excited for our live show at the Creek in the Cave.
Woo! I
Yes.
can't wait for that. It's going to be so fun.
Uh-huh. I didn't have a nightmare about it or anything.
Oh, that's
No.
not what you told me.
Yeah, I did. So I had a nightmare. I guess it's going to help to talk about it, that I was so late and I couldn't make it.
Oh, dear.
And I think that's like because I'm very big into dreams.
Right.
And
And you're very big into lateness.
that's also correct. Two passions, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, two things I do best:
Yes.
sleep and
Dream
be late.
and be late.
Yes. Probably because I was sleeping.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
exactly.
Try to squeeze in a nap.
I always squeeze in a nap. Like it's a necessity.
Right.
Yes. So I think it also had to do with that I sold my car.
Congrats.
So thank you. So I've been, I took the train today to
Right.
your place.
I had to retrieve her from
Yes.
the Fulton Mall.
Thank you for that. But that was nice. I got to see a different part of Brooklyn that I've never seen before.
It's a great place.
And
Lots
I-
of shopping.
Yes, which I'll have more money to do now on one less car payment. Just kidding. Until I get a car after the summer.
Right.
But and I think like it's that like analogy, like when one door closes, another door opens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited for like change and stuff. And like maybe I will start riding my bike places or walking places.
Right. Too
Or
bad
just-
you can't ride over the Verrazano Bridge.
I thought that.
Yeah.
That would be, and I wouldn't ride here though, because you're pretty far out in Brooklyn. Just
I rode from Times Square to Bay Ridge once
how and why?
because I had to get home and I had a bike.
Okay.
I rode my bike to Times Square, but first I went several other places. But then when I came home, I went straight home. But it was fine. It wasn't really that difficult.
Did you have a lot of breaks in between?
No, but the only time, I mean, the majority of Brooklyn is pretty flat, kind of, except for the bridges. So that was like the most challenging part. But it wasn't that hard, and I
Yeah.
didn't feel like so exhausted. My legs were tired the next day, but
Wow.
it just felt. I like to feel exhausted legs. It makes me feel powerful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. I'm like a little bit scared of you now,
Yeah,
but in a
thank you.
good way. So, yes. So, also, we are in a blue moon, which at my yoga studio,
right.
they do like a blue moon practice. So, I don't know if you know, but it's a blue moon today, actually. And what the blue moon symbolizes.
Hold on, there's a motorcycle.
Yes.
I'm sure this can hear that. Okay, now
Yeah.
tell us about
That's
the blue
all right.
moon.
Motorcycles are a good sign.
Oh god.
Strengthening relationships and defining healthy boundaries is highly supportive. That's what
Oh.
the blue moon
Healthy
is.
boundaries.
Yes. So I don't know about you, but I've been getting some people messaging me on Instagram about our last episode because we talked a lot about advocacy and our role in the field with being an advocate for our students, for ourselves. So I got a message that I thought was interesting and I wanted to share.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yes. So I had an SLP, which I don't know if she wants to be named, so I just won't name her just to be conservative.
Okay.
So she expressed some concern of how she has a student with the device and she's noticing the teacher isn't using it across all environments. So she did feel frustration, which rightfully so. You know, I've been in that boat before. I will probably be in that boat again, and I could be in that boat right now if I really rack my brain and think about it.
Right.
So I gave her some tips, which I thought were helpful. I mean, I hope I was helpful. So I told her, first and foremost, you got to pick and choose your battles.
Right.
So, you know, if this teacher is kind of using it like 80% of the day, 90% of the day, a little bit more, like, all right, start with that, build on it. You know, don't just like kind of hammer her away, like, or him, like the teacher, like, don't always just start with a negative. You know, like, give the teacher some credit. You know, you got to like look at it from that point, like, all right, she's not that bad, right? You know, like,
Right.
how can we make it better, though? How can we work towards a better progress or more usage of the device? But all right, at least we're on this track. And then I told her, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, which we've said that before too.
Yes. I also think, though, like, if you want someone to do something that you want, it's best to cater to their best interest. So instead of being like, this is a device and you have to use it,
Right.
then you should be like, oh, this is going to make your life easier because it's going to increase this person's ability to participate in your activities.
Exactly.
And then maybe people are being avoidant of your device because they don't know how to use it. And that's when the SLP should just step in there and just model.
That's what I
use of
said.
it. Oh.
Yes, which I think I'm not like trying to knock down this SLP. She totally does, and I told her like, "Oh, you should push in," and she was just like, "Yeah, I do. Maybe I'll do this." So like, I feel like our conversation kind of helped her think. You know, she knows better. Obviously, she knows what she's doing.
She's got to do some misdirection like a magician. Like, woo, look, oh, it's a rabbit. I pulled it out of the hat. Like, wow,
okay,
this kid just asked for a toy.
Yeah.
You believe it? Let's do it again.
Right.
Oh my goodness. He's talking up a storm.
I think
try it.
I think she gets it though, like, you know, because when I talked to her about it, she was like, "Yeah, you know this." So it seems like she's like very motivated, you know, and like she really wants this kid to use the device because this student was using the device with her really well, and she just wants this kid to be, you know, meeting their potential, which I get, you know.
Right.
So I was telling her that to model the device, which she said she already does, and maybe she'll do it a little more.
Yeah.
And then
with some spirit fingers.
Yeah, with some spirit fingers.
Yeah.
I think she's got it though.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, "Girl, you got it." You know,
I had
like
a concerned listener
So,
question.
but
were you still
I feel
working
like that's it. Her and I kind of like agreed, and you know, because I've been in that boat before too, and
I'm sure so many SLPs have.
yes, I mean,
Not me,
guys.
because I don't have anyone with a device.
it's all right.
But in other capacities, certainly.
Exactly.
This
So,
SLP here is, she is almost a CF, and she's struggling with goal writing and IEPs. You should have been in my college courses
right,
because
yes.
I drilled that into everyone's head.
Yes, she did.
Also, fluency evals because I've never done one. So
Really?
that's what it says there.
Oh, I thought
No, that wasn't
you
me.
haven't done one.
No.
I was like, what?
Okay. But what I did want to share, one of my grad students, we had my last assignment I had them do, one of the last was to create a goal bank.
Yep.
And they actually, a couple of them went to a stuttering workshop, and the person who ran the workshop talked about having a goal about stuttering forward. So instead of making all of the goals about like fluency shaping techniques, this goal was targeting stuttering forward through their expression so that they can get through it instead of letting it hold them back. And I liked that goal. I don't remember the exact wording of it.
Isn't stuttering shaping the stat though? That's unless I'm like
Wait, you mean
confusing.
fluency shaping?
Yes.
Like
What
fluency
am I
shaping
saying?
would be
Sorry.
like if you want to do easy onset, melodic intonation,
Right.
prolongation, things
Yes.
like that. Like these are fluency shaping techniques. So that
Got
if I
it.
do these things, I might be like having an easier time to get them out. You know, those are
Got it.
right. There we go.
Mhm.
These are my fluency shaping techniques.
Are they?
They
No,
are.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
But and I think it's also important to encourage people to maintain control over their stutter. So I like that stutter forward goal.
Okay.
And I think it's important in goal writing, just a little aside, is that, you know, goals have 3 parts to it. There's the performance, the condition, and the criteria.
Right. And time.
And time. Right. But that's the SMART goal part. I'm just
Right.
talking about the goal part.
Yes.
So the performance
Got it.
is like Maria will what blank. That's your
Increase eye
performance.
contact.
Oh, I hate that goal. So
I know that's
yeah.
why I said it.
So
it's
Maria
just-
will provide an antonym for 50 given words.
I feel like you like that goal though.
I do. I love
Yes.
antonyms and synonyms. How it's like so great to expand vocabulary and
You're right.
increase receptive and expressive language. So, and it's an
Agreed.
easy example. So Maria will, that's her performance. Maria will provide an antonym for 50 given words. And then the condition is going to be like tier 2 vocabulary words. Like what kind of words is it going to be? And
Adjectives. I don't know.
Right,
I'm
sure.
just-
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like the condition under which that's going to occur, and then with 80% accuracy. That's the criteria. And then like Maria was saying, all goals have to be SMART goals. So they have to be specific, which is it's antonyms. You can't be more specific than that. Like we know what we're doing. Measurable, you have to
50.
do of 50, 80% you have to get correct. Achievable, which 50 is pretty reasonable for a year. So there's our relevant is it's going to increase expressive and receptive language, and time bound it's 1 academic year.
Right.
And then also time bound, I like to consider your schedule that you will track your progress. So I like to do as measured by SLP data collection over 3 consecutive sessions, measured quarterly or monthly.
Right.
And that's my advice about goal writing.
That's a good one.
Was that scattered?
No.
Okay.
Cheers to that
Cheers.
one. That was nice. Cheers.
Okay.
So we also talked about previous to this episode about eye contact goal,
Right.
right, and how you dislike it.
I hate that goal.
Right. Just
Yeah.
to get
I think that like it's something that people just put down on paper because they're unsure what to write. But one, I think that measuring eye contact is quite difficult, and it's not something that's like very possible to do. And then also, two, it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, especially individuals on the spectrum. So
Yes.
it's like, why don't you teach them another strategy, like looking at the nose or looking above the head, just like looking in that direction.
Yeah.
And then 3, I think just as SLPs, it's just good for all of us to work on eye contact with everyone. So if we just like as a PSA, just everyone be like, while you're working on your goals, make sure the kids are looking at you.
Right.
Then we can never have another crappy goal of will demonstrate appropriate eye contact, which I don't know what that means.
Right. Exactly. And what I was going to say about that interesting topic there is we are like talking about just how you were talking about fluency forward, right? Like
Yeah, stuttering
accepting-
forward, yeah.
Stuttering forward.
Like
Sorry, I keep
you would,
messing
you
that up.
just might be like, my drink is right here. Like,
Yeah.
and you just keep going instead of
Right.
letting that be something that interrupts your entire conversation.
Exactly, which is sometimes eye contact interrupting. Look at me, and it's like, well,
Right.
I'm like, what do you want me to do? Look at you, answer
Yeah.
you, put the block here.
Right, I'm
touch
sweating
my
now.
nose, I'm sweating. I want to throw myself off the floor.
Yeah, you're making me uncomfortable.
Yes. So the same, I think, in my mind, I think my opinion is it's about like acceptance too, you know. So like when you're someone who stutters, a part of therapy is like they have to accept that, okay, I stutter, I am a stutterer, and that's why a big
Right.
part of stuttering therapy that's a big part of that. Like you're gonna accept that this is who you are, and that they're
And to
gonna
not
be
feel ashamed.
yeah. So similar with autism, you have to accept that they're going to have a difficult time with eye contact. And
Right.
it's research is showing, I think, most likely, don't always quote me, but I'm pretty sure
Right.
that it's because it's like overwhelming to them to like look at you and like focus and respond. So they don't always look at you, but that doesn't mean they're not like
Right.
listening or not absorbing what
Right,
you're
they
saying.
hear you. I also read a great blog post. I should have prepared and like remembered what this
That's
was.
all right.
But the individual who wrote it was like, stop trying to make everyone typical. Not everyone is typical.
Right. Yeah, that's okay.
So
That's
stop.
right. Yeah, and that's part of the autism acceptance.
Yes.
Like, okay, he has autism, and this is another goal that's going to be a long-term goal, you
Mhm.
know? So maybe we could increase eye contact incidentally, but not in 1 year are they going to be like complete 180 and like they're going to always look at you now. Like, all right.
Right.
But we can teach them like social questions like what's your name, how old are you, where do you live? For
Right.
safety. I
Exactly.
like those goals for kids on the spectrum. Like if they, God forbid, ever got lost,
Yes.
you
They should know their address. Oh, there's
Look
our
at that.
timer.
That's the time. So we're going to pause now for a quick commercial break.
Stay tuned because after the break, we're going to talk about social stories and pragmatic goals. This episode is brought to you by ThroatScope.
ThroatScope is an illuminated tongue depressor and retraction tool.
It's great for those very necessary oral mechanism exams.
ThroatScope integrates a natural light source to promote complete intraoral illumination for improved patient examination and outcomes.
It includes a reusable light handle that slides into a single-use tongue depressor.
So, if you want to feel like a prepared SLP, you're going to want to keep your ThroatScope handy.
If you want to know more about ThroatScope, head to www.throatscope.com. All right, we're talking
Hello
goals
there.
now.
Yes.
Ready, Maria?
I am.
What's your social goal? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first.
Okay, you
yeah,
go
I
first.
like my goal.
Okay.
So this is a goal that I have created on my own, essentially,
Okay.
over time,
Mhm.
perhaps with some of my coworkers' input. So my goal, as I briefly mentioned before, instead of doing a goal for eye contact, which I've never done,
Mhm.
is to answer personal information questions. Because to me, that's a safety issue. If a student is, God forbid,
Right.
knock on wood, ever lost somewhere, lost in a supermarket, and a stranger can go up to them and say, "What's your name?" So the goal will be, Deb
Mhm.
will answer a minimum of 5 social questions or / you could do personal information questions, and then you could break down the goals with which ones you're going to use. So I do the name, how old they are, their birthday, their address, teacher's name, mom's name, dad's name, phone number. It really depends on the student or
Right.
the kid. So I like that goal because I feel like it's functional.
Yep.
They should know their name.
And
They sh-
relevant.
and safety and all the reasons that eye contact is not.
Right.
This is the eye
Anti-eye
contact.
But we're
goal.
not even saying like no eye contact. We're just saying
Right.
like don't write you will use appropriate eye contact.
I know.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your goal.
Right.
My goal is Deborah will. Oh, I made my goal with the help of SLP Toolkit. I love SLP Toolkit, and if you don't have it, you need to get it. It makes your life so much easier. There's so many features. I love the goal writing generator. So I have Deborah will take a turn and wait appropriately for 2 play exchanges when given a visual cue, scoring 4 in 4 out of 5 opportunities as measured by SLP data collection over 3 consecutive sessions quarterly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information.
Is it? Or did you just tune me out halfway through?
Can I say both?
Yeah. I
Is it
do want
okay?
to say that they have a good eye contact goal that I
Uh-huh.
liked on SLP Toolkit.
Yes.
But it's not like the one that I hated. Are you taking a video of me?
I am.
This one is Deborah will make eye contact with a familiar adult or peer when greeted when given a visual prompt, scoring in 4 out of 5 opportunities as measured by SLP data collection over 3 consecutive sessions quarterly.
Got it. Okay. That I
So
got.
that's fine. So that's very measurable, and it's not using ambiguous terms like appropriate or typical or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Thank you.
Okay. I liked it. So moving on, I wanted to tell our listeners about this new app, well, new to me, this app called Podcoin, Podcoin. It's a free app, and you get paid, listeners get paid to listen to podcasts. So stop what you're doing right now.
Oh.
If you're, I don't know where you're listening to us.
Unless you're in the car.
Right. Yes. Pull over. Download this app, and then you could enter this code. It'll ask you for a code after you log in or sign up. And the code is WINE. And you can listen to this podcast, and you raise money for charity. So why not?
Listen to us on, what is it, Podcoin?
Yes.
Podcoin.
Yep. And we'll post about it and stuff, so look out for that. But do it. Yeah. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, our 1-year anniversary show is going to be Friday, May 31st at the Creek in the Cave. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. We are going to, Maria and I will be hosting the show. We're going to talk about incorporating humor in speech therapy, and also utilizing like figurative language and rhetoric, stuff like that. So that's what our topic is going to be. And then in between our conversations, we're going to have 4 comedians.
Oh, it's
on
4
the show.
now?
Yeah, 4.
Oh.
I booked 4 comedians.
Wow.
They're each going to do 8 to 10 minutes. And then after their set, they'll sit down with us, and then we'll chat a bit. And I was thinking we'll give them like some speech sort of like assessments or like cognitive language tasks, but we'll just make them like way more complicated, like auditory recall and like number sequences, and we could see like how many numbers they can recall or something.
Wow.
Or doing like I'm not quite sure what, I didn't plan this part yet,
we're gonna
but
plan it.
it'll be fun to like try to stump them and see like what they're
Aw.
good at.
I feel bad for them a little.
they're
though.
probably all going to do very well.
Oh.
They're like they're good listeners generally, comedians.
Do you want to do the therapy and I just take the data like we did in clinic?
Sure, perfect.
That's
So-
pretty much what we did.
The show
Yeah.
is going to start at 8 o'clock. The doors open at 7:30. Thank you to everyone who already purchased tickets. And yes, you can buy tickets at the door, but to guarantee your seats, we recommend buying them online because we really only have 60 seats. So if they get sold out, we don't have anywhere to put you.
Yeah, where are you going to go?
Exactly.
I don't know.
We'll have a wine tasting, so
Yes,
that'll
look
be
out
great.
for that.
And Maria, what else about the live
We're going to
event?
have shirts.
Oh, we'll
to
have
give
our
away.
shirts to give away.
Yep.
And we hope to see everybody
Yeah.
there.
We're so excited.
Exactly,
And
yes.
yeah, we can't wait to meet some of our listeners, so I'm very excited.
Yeah. the
also-
comedians. Should I say who the comedians are?
Well, I know comedians sometimes could be a little flaky and cancel, so maybe
No,
not.
these ones are not going to cancel.
They're not. Okay.
I made sure I picked ones who aren't.
Good.
So we have Ashley Hamilton, and she's got a podcast called something. It's something like, wait 1 second, we're talking about Britney Spears, and it's the only Britney Spears podcast.
Okay.
She's super funny. We have Molly Austin from Comedy Central. We have Nimesh Patel from Saturday Night Live and Seth Meyers. And we have Mike Racine from Comedy Central and Conan O'Brien and Canadian HBO.
Go Mike, a.k.a. Deb's future man.
Right. Well, he's my
Right.
current man.
Well, you know
I'm just
what I meant.
waiting for my diamond ring.
That's what I wasn't going to mention,
Yeah.
but you just did. So, yeah.
yeah, he tells me every day it's coming.
Oh.
Everyone will know when it's here.
Will I know?
Yes.
Okay, I want like a special like
Okay, I'll
FaceTime.
tell you first.
Thank you. Oh, that would be lovely.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Thank you.
So we hope to see everybody at the Creek in the Cave Friday, May 31st. And it will be fun for your non-SLP friends because the comedians are going to do their regular jokes that they already wrote that they perform nightly. So
Yeah. Bring your
the only
Tinder
thing-
date.
Right. Bring your Tinder date.
Why? Wine not.
Right, and you can ditch him if you don't like him because there'll be there's like foosball downstairs and pinball, so he can occupy himself.
And I feel like we're really good at like navigating social scenes, so you guys, like our listener, can come up to us and be like, oh my god, he or she is terrible, like, you know, get rid of him or her, and we're gonna be like, hey, you know, and we got that.
So, I mean, I don't know if I've got that, but Maria seems confident in that area.
Very confident in navigating terrible dates.
Good.
Thank you.
You must have some experience there.
Absolutely. Okay. Also, if you're not following us on Instagram, our handle is SLP's Wine and Cheese Pod _ between each word at Maria Katsonis Maria Katz,
right,
SLP, and Deborah
I'm Deborah Brooks, CCC SLP.
Great. Okay. So next segment, we're going to talk about a whole segment on just tips and tricks of how to target specific social skills. So in our other episodes, we talked about social stories. So Deb and I were going to read some examples of what a social story should sound like or what we think it should sound like. Obviously, they need to be tailor-made to the student. As much as possible.
Right, and whatever skills that they require. So I want you to go first, though, because you're the pro, and then mine can just be like the joke that thought it was right.
The joke that thought it was right.
Because you're the pro. You're whenever anybody messages me on Instagram and it's something ASD related, I'm like, you need to go message Maria.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You know, because somebody once told me, like, a good lawyer doesn't know everything, but a good lawyer knows where to find that information.
Oh, okay.
And I know
so you're
I
a lawyer
don't
now,
know.
Too?
I always wanted to be.
Me too. Wait, what?
We're
never
twins.
realized this. This is creepy.
But yeah, so I don't know everything, but I do know where that information can be found.
That's good. You know how to refer.
Yeah.
That's what PCP doctors do, primary care physicians. And there's a stand-up, the guy from Hangover.
Yeah, he hasn't been a doctor in forever.
I know, but he's like, I was a primary care physician. Like, whatever. I was just like, I don't know what your problem is. Go to this person.
Right, refer.
So, exactly. So, the title of this social story is Going Down the Slide. Right. As per our last...
It's a callback.
Yes, callback. Our last episodes. Yes. So if you're listening to this and you haven't heard episode 1 and 2, part 1 and 2, we recommend that you do that.
Yes.
So the title will be Going Down the Slide, and then ideally there will be a picture of the student with the slide, maybe standing next to it, on it, whatever, near it.
I'm just going to read my story and not talk about the pictures. Because I didn't make pictures. I just made a story.
The pictures are in my head.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the pictures are in the listener's head, too. Just picture this.
Exactly. And also, I've done before is I had the student, if they were able to, draw their own pictures of it, you know? So why not? So, going down the slide can feel exciting. I feel excited because my body feels jumpy or jittery. So, you're labeling the emotions and how they're presenting, right? So if they're like jumping up and down or feeling jittery, you're providing and you're modeling appropriate language and explaining essentially what's going on physically in their body and in their head, you know, mentally.
Right.
Okay. Page 3 or page 2. If you count the cover. My friends feel excited too about the slide, or my friends feel excited about the slide too would probably be better. Either one. Then the next page will go and that picture could be like their friend on the slide. Right. So having
like 3 kids ahead of them.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or like someone, like, because it's showing them, oh, okay, they're excited too. Like, so you're just adding always a visual. That's like my number one thing. Add the visual of, okay, you know, they're on the slide too. They're feeling excited as well. First, so this is providing the sequence of what they should do. So again, like we talked about, if you're explaining a certain behavior, you're going to have to also teach how you want to get that desired behavior of not pushing kids down the slide.
Right.
So first, I will climb up the stairs. Then I will wait my turn to go down the slide. And also the language is pretty direct, right? But it's not like babyish either, because
Right.
you still want to teach
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary words, antonyms, right?
Right. Exactly.
If someone is on the slide, I have to wait. And maybe this word I would like underline or something, or italicize. Did I say
Okay,
that?
or bold it.
Or bold it. This can feel difficult. And then you don't want to always say, like, this is difficult. Like, it can feel difficult. I can take 5 deep breaths, reach for the clouds, or do 5 jumping jacks. So this is where you're providing a solution.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't even plan that word. Look
Yeah.
at that.
I felt you saying it.
There you go. Once my friend or friends go down the slide and I see them, it's my turn. And I would put like an exclamation point. Like, great. Like,
Mhm.
I'm excited about this. I just waited and now I get to go down. I can say ready, set, go, and then slide down. I just always like to use go. So why not model some language?
Right. Some
too?
core words.
Yes. All about the core. I feel happy that I waited. None of my friends got hurt. And then this child or student, whatever, will be smiling, or maybe like a thumbs up. Maybe they're like high-fiving their friend. You know, get some
Right.
like good pictures in here.
Yeah, and you can use authentic materials by taking pictures of the actual client that
Yes.
this story pertains to.
Exactly. Given they have photo consent.
Right.
Last page, conclusion. I waited, went on the slide, and no one got hurt. I'm so proud of myself. I can do this. I added that little extra because I feel like it's motivating and it's exciting. So, the end.
I love that story.
Thank you.
That
Well,
was great. And now I feel like I have a much better understanding of social stories.
good.
I wrote a social story today.
Oh,
and
lovely.
this social story is for Maria.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that was going to happen at
Yeah.
all.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
this is the social story.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm a little nervous.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Are my
into the
pictures in
microphone.
it?
No, get out. Don't look.
Oh, man.
Okay,
I want my
listen.
pictures in it.
No, it's just in my email.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Sometimes in life, I have lots of places to be, but I can be on
Oh,
time.
God.
Schedules help me stay organized.
Mm-hmm.
I can think about how much time a task will take and plan accordingly. It is important to plan realistically. When I only have an hour of free time, I can pick tasks that take an hour or less to complete. If I only have 30 minutes to spare, I'm like crying.
You are.
I know.
Is this emotional?
If I only have 30 minutes to spare, that's not enough time to do yoga, start cooking, or answer emails.
Right.
It is important to choose tasks that will only take the amount of time I have to spare.
Right.
When I plan ahead, I can figure out how much time it will take to get to where I need to be.
Yes.
I can choose to plan only the amount of activities I can realistically accomplish.
Good.
I can stay on schedule without getting distracted.
Oh, God. That's a challenge. Did we star that page? You know, star it.
Alarms can help remind me it's time to
Oh.
go.
I like that.
My friends and family will be happy when I arrive on time.
Good.
If I say I will be ready at 5:30, that is not the same as 6:30.
No. It's not, though. It's only an hour.
When I am late, I feel rushed and stressed.
That's true.
But when I give myself enough time, I can be on time.
Wow.
The end.
Okay. I want to say thank you. I do. No, I'm
I
just
wrote
kidding.
this for you.
Thank you so much.
You're
Deb.
welcome.
Cheers to my own very own social story. I feel so special. You are right. I am definitely a late person, as evidenced by
But
my
I
nightmare.
think it's just because you are just such an overachiever that you're
Yes.
like, I can do all of this. But
Yes.
I think that you need to be like, how much do I need to get done? How much time do I actually have? And does
What's
that
a priority?
fall into that block of time? Like
Yeah.
Tetris.
Like Tetris. Right.
Yeah. Does my activity fit into my spare time block?
Right.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Are you mad that I was here late because I went to yoga?
No, I told you to go to yoga. I thought
Yes.
it was great. It inspired me to write this very funny social story.
That's true. I will give it to Deb. Deb is like very nice, and she like never gets mad. Probably should get mad more often, but
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
But
I mean,
she's
I
right.
also I cleaned my house, walked my dogs, entered my final grades, and wrote this social story.
exactly.
So it's fine that you were late.
Exactly. That's what I'm like.
Well,
why
no, I
can't
don't want to
everyone
make
be
you
like-
feel good about being late all the time. I-
No. Right.
I'm just saying I can make the best of the time. As long as I know when you're coming, I'm totally cool with when it is.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, but luckily you are very go with the flow like that.
Right.
And I guess not everyone is.
But I feel like all SLPs are late all the time because we all have so much to do. And like, let's write a whole nother social story about how like being early is like a complete waste of time.
okay.
Like, what am I early for? Like, I
Right.
could have done something with this 20 minutes.
Okay,
Like, I'm not trying to impress you.
Yeah.
Like, who is this person that I'm trying to
right.
impress?
Unless you're on a job interview.
I don't. Well, then I'm not going to set up unrealistic expectations for that future employer.
Oh, okay.
I am going to be on time.
Okay. Well,
I
5
might-
minutes. They
5
say
minutes
5
is
minutes.
fine. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
But like 15 or 20, no.
okay.
I'm not early to things. But I think that all SLPs are late. And my number one tip for that is really like thinking to yourself, how much time do I have to spare, and how long is that activity that I have planned? Will
Right.
that fit into the spare time block that I have? And if it won't, then you need to not do that or just like do something else. And I feel like that's
Right.
just something that I implement in my life. So that's my
good.
social story tip or trick.
Good. My social story tip or trick to sum it up is to be on time. No, I'm kidding. I like that you gave a solution, like set timers. And you're
Right.
right. You know what? I should do that more. Like, okay, I'm going to have this much time to leave. So when my phone rings, like I got to get up and go. So like,
Right.
whatever,
But
you
sometimes
know?
it's hard, like when all of things in life are so demanding. It's like
Yeah.
hard for me to get out of bed in the morning. I can't get up.
That's true.
So I can understand. Like I am actually pretty good at being on time, but
Yeah,
that's
you are.
only because I really only accept things into my day that I can fit.
Right. Yes.
And I like
That's
make
good.
my day like a puzzle. But other than that, I mean, you had to travel a far way to get here, so
Oh,
it's
thanks.
whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I do travel far for the podcast.
But all
no
SLPs
worries.
are late all the time because our job requires us to do so many things. So it's just like the reality of the situation.
Exactly. And that goes into our quote. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. And that's it. So if you're an SLP and you're on the go, even between like back-to-back sessions, like
Right.
telling a teacher, telling, I don't know, the rehab manager, like, I'm late. Let's just accept it. Like, I'm going to be late. you know?
Exactly. And then what you both can agree on is that you are here.
Because you wouldn't be having that
Exactly.
conversation.
And I'm like, now you are prolonging this because I was ready.
Right, exactly.
Like, I showed up ready.
Yeah.
I had my throat scope in hand. I was ready to go see that kid.
Yes, I took my data.
And you're trying to talk to me now,
Yeah.
lecture me on being late. I know I'm late. I have a clock.
Exactly. But I do wear a watch every day. That helps. Another side note.
You
No,
do?
Get a watch. Not right now, but
I
at
can't
work.
even tell time.
Oh, okay. We should make you a social
I
story
ask
on that.
Alexa all the time.
Oh, you do. You do.
Yeah.
So, on that note, everyone who's in the New York/tri-state area, we will see you on May 31st.
Oh, yeah.
At the Creek in the Cave at 7:30. Should I
Between
get there early?
7:30 and 8.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It's
get
okay
your.
if you're late. I'll
Well,
understand at
If
least.
you walk in late, like, who knows where you're going to sit and stuff. Last
True.
year, it sold out. So we had to,
Right.
like, pull chairs in.
Yeah.
But I would say, 7:45 is a good bet.
7:45.
We're going to have music starting at 7:45. Gabriel Mayers is going to be there. He's on iTunes. You can check him out.
Cool.
And
How do you
he's going
spell
to
his
play,
last name?
I think it's Mayers.
Okay.
Gabriel. His Instagram is at Gabriel Mayers NYC. And yeah, he's on iTunes. And he's going to play from 7:45 to 8. And then he's going to do the intros and outros every time somebody gets on and off the stage.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to meeting him. All right,
Me too.
everyone.
I've never met him.
Oh, okay.
I just talked to him on Instagram.
Is that your crush, by the way?
He's my, well, like, I wouldn't say crush, but, like, I love this guy. I love his music. I saw him, like, on the subway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he started playing shows around the city, and then I would, like, see it on Instagram. And, yeah, and I invited him to play at our show. So
Cool.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah.
Mike, watch out. You got competition.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sayonara.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Hey ladies, I'm kind of sort of loving and openly admittingly fangirling y'all lovely duo of SLP's Wine and Cheese.
Yes, and we love listening to your podcast, First Bite.
Well, thank you. I'm Michelle Dawson, and I specialize in functional but fun treatment for medically fragile kiddos, especially for those that have feeding and swallowing impairments and who use AAC devices as part of their total communication plan. On my podcast, First Bite, we discuss all topics related to early intervention and pediatric speech therapy. We address those worrisome ethics and clinical supervision concerns, as well as jump into private practice ownership and really get into the nooks and crannies of all the things in between by interviewing guest experts in the field. Then, every fourth episode, we bring it back home to my Palmetto State by having evidence-based reviews of case studies or resources with my dear friend and colleague, Aaron Forward, who kind of sort of came up with this whole idea.
First Bite is partnered with Speech Therapy PD, offering evidence-based content in a podcast. Each episode can count as 1 hour ASHA CEU. Find them on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Absolutely. And thanks for all you do and for spreading joy into the world.
Cheers.